See if it resonates. The Ten of Sword in the reverse. We traditionally read as self-sabotage. Could be overthinking. Expecting something that's long overdue. Obviously, the World card in the reverse is incompleteness. I'm getting like a very anticipatory vibe here. Okay. Or also being distracted is what I could see here. Ten of Swords in the reverse, self-sabotage. And the High Priestess is like sitting in silence. It could also be, this morning we spoke a lot to kind of like turning the generator on, of like doing your mantras, doing your kind of quiet hum to yourself, just to shake up the energies. Not taking things for face value. Okay, but shaking things up, shaking the energy up. This gives me like a crackling energy, like an electric energy. This Nine of Pentacles in the upright. So on the one hand, Ten of Swords has been reading historically lately as overthinking, but then it's almost as if like you toggle between just kind of being empty, not doing your mantra, but then overthinking and worrying. And it's almost as if like you could kickstart this when you're realizing that you have the space or the void. And then it could also kind of benefit this overthinking as well. Okay. Because sometimes the overthinking is just you need to you need to idle your engine, turn it into neutral with your mantras. Burn the energies, burn the calories. One good one is like putting your attention, your awareness on your heart space. But I feel like there's, dare I say, like a deep message here because of the incompleteness here. Feels like a distant energy that wants to reach out or come back, or they've been taking forever and a day. I noticed the brick pattern under this woman's shawl, and I'm wondering if someone has kind of grown, rather stiff in their heart space. So maybe focusing on opening up your heart space. If someone's like heart positive, she could be like heart negative, maybe. And then, of course, this is financial well standing if this is you, the protagonist, but if it's an antagonist, another character, then that could be them as well. I'm kind of getting both interpretations. Could be someone with the past history that you have with here. World card in reverse is incomplete. I think I heard someone mention a retrograde, so I'm not sure if we're going in or what. Retrograde. So yeah, this is interesting with the mantra work. versus the tail spinning, thinking, overthinking. Anything else here, Spirit? I mean, I think it's interesting to say the least because it's almost as if, like, this is your passage to here. Okay. Working with those energies that we discussed. So if you're feeling like things are depressed or like empty, or then that's when you want to start to work your mantra, because it's like it's like you're rubbing your crystals together, and you're getting like a spark going, some friction to start a fire, to have some sort of alchemical change or catalyst occur. All right. Anything else here, Spirit? This is an interesting energy that I'm picking up here. It's like the final spark, or the final like spark to the ignition that needs to combust to like get you through this like final portal, if that makes sense. Wow, this is an interesting read here. Yeah, it's like you were given that choice in the past with someone, to be chained to them, their whipping post, their, being henpecked by them, or completely subservient to them, submissive to their vision or lack of a vision. Okay. But I'm getting that you weren't willing to do that because it could be that you were the one empowered with the vision. Okay. Or with the intuition or with the path is what I'm getting more so. And your vision, I think, is different. I wouldn't really call it vision. I would just say that ability to spark, to illuminate the immediate path, which is different from like a far off vision removed, right? This is more like a far off vision removed long term. You might get it here and there through dreams and like visions and dreams, but some people have like a clear vision that they could like see themselves. But I'm getting that you more so, or you might resonate more so with like an immediate illuminacy around you, luminosity around you. Like if you ever played that game Diablo 2 or whatever, there's like a luminary around you that's like shows you only just a little bit of the map, but then also it expands bigger and bigger the more that your character evolves and grows in experience. That's what I'm getting as well for you. Everybody has a different kind of psychic ability. Some people's vision is very strong. But you might be skilled or gifted in other ways here. Your vision might be more so like in the immediacy, is what I'm getting. And that could have freaked this person out if they were wont to being more like out in the open, stable financially, and that's their way of feeling comfortable, is through financial status. Whereas you could dwell here because look at, you have your own illumination here in the tail. Whereas this person needs the kind of false confidence of like finances and whatever. You could really go deep and dark. You could go into the depths, I should say, because that's how strong your faith is, whereas that person was not faith-based. So they were not able to follow that path. So it could just be an explanation as to why that would never have worked. Okay. Because your path was meant for you to cross this kind of great still of the night, this great desert, 40 days and 40 nights type. And it was unstable. You know, there wasn't that confidence of this, there wasn't the luxury of that, as seen here with the Queen of Pentacle in reverse. And again, there wasn't that vision, but you had the flame, the spark, the all spark within you. Okay. That was your kind of gift that your, material biology was predisposed. Your genetic proclivity. And so that was a clash. That was like a conflict of interest there. Or maybe just a conflict of how one is set up, structured, One's methodology for survival. Weaknesses and strengths, the stagnancy is what's kind of, you may have been left in stagnancy after this departure. But I'm getting that you may have had more of a vision for happiness and harmony. Okay, some people have a vision for their success. Some people have a vision for happiness and harmony. It might be that you have the vision for what you would feel is like a harmonious relationship. It might be more so less of a vision, more of a feeling. You know how a harmonious relationship feels. Okay? And that's what you're seeking out here. And then the King of Wands. Okay. Yeah, you were more wont to get up and act about it. And that person may have been more just talk smack about it. It could also have been a difference. Man, I wasn't trying to get this reading to go for 10 minutes, but shit, we're at 12 minutes already. Fuck it, let it roll. So I can imagine that you're away from this person. Maybe you still think about them fondly. You could be away from family or friends. You don't know how you're going to get back. There's a bridge, there's a way. Okay? Where there's a will, there's a way. And right now that door might not be open. But, given enough time, I would even say within 4 months' time, because these represent months. One moment, I'm just reading here. Could be that the people that you actually I'm getting that a group or a couple of people have maybe conjured negative vibrations from you, but that's because they're in their own hellhole. They're in their own poverty consciousness is what I'm seeing here. Sadly enough to say, I don't mean to, but that's just what it is, unfortunately. They're like that because they're in their own hell hole. They're in their own negative. This is poverty consciousness, this relationship where there's no worth or value. It doesn't have to do with the physical well-being. It's more so the lack of value and worth that they give each other. Unfortunately, I mean that's how straight up it looks, And I think you try to maintain an openness to them, but maybe you find it challenging because you feel like you continuously. It almost feels as though that they feel like you turned on them, and so they're turning on you. Instead of like trying to seek why you turned on them, quote unquote. So it's like they're being very kind of like immature about it. But you're not even about that because you're just more so focused on your present moment here. The Ace of Wands. Tune into the tides here of the moon and the blessings that come in your victory. I feel like you could really sniff your victory. You could really smell it. You've been fighting your ass off, haven't you? Mm-hmm. And you haven't let it make you bitter. And I think that's why Spirit's going to bless you with the big coin. God's going to bless you with the big coin. Okay, so don't get caught up in that nonsense. Don't look at that small BS. Because even though it might be family and friends, and it's still that energy, right, that you're battling. So don't let that throw you off track, okay? Focus on, keep your eye on the prize, is what the Spirit's saying. Keep your eye on the prize, baby. Yeah, see, that would be self-sabotage if you dwelled in that. But you have bigger fish to fry, my love. Okay, you're chomping at the bit, baby. I could feel you. You're chomping at the bit. Even for you, it's been too long. Okay, Spirit has stretched you out. Spirit really wanted to see if you could go, if you could hang. And this period has been single-handedly the most transformational period of your life, I would say, up until now. You know, I'm not saying that that's going to be the end-all, be-all, but 1711 on the clock, those are powerful numbers. 1714 also. 1717. Yeah, things are myopic. You know, you're only having the microscopic purview. So continue to zoom out. Keep your eye on the prize here. Okay, don't let the negative drama BS you. Or BS your energy. Yeah. People have their own karma to face and their own drama. You're shoulder to shoulder with the Empress, with the Divine Feminine, that's going to bring in all these blessings, all these beautiful options. Alright. And you have been this kind of like 30-day pot roast, just simmering, just like, or this aged meat curing, for a better analogy or metaphor, what have you. And you've been taking the lessons to take from it. You know? And I think that you could rest easy knowing that you did things the right way. You know, you were up front while this person was not up front. They were shady. Not even like in a cool or classy way. It was just shady. Negative. Non-committal. Just a fuck girl. Or a fuck boy. But you definitely evolved from it. I mean, look at this strength card. Did I not just see it come up? Or I'm looking at the haunches here. See the legs here? I don't know if it came up before. I'm probably thinking of an old reading. But yeah, I mean, it really kind of, this has been the most kind of patience trying, inducing, testing period of your life. But I'm getting that you passed with flying colors. And the only thing that's left Really? It sounds crazy, but Spirit is not 2002 on the clock as I say that. The only thing that's left is to collect, you know? They say the spec method: select, project, expect, and collect. The only thing left now to do is collect, my baby. Spirit, anything we could do to facilitate the collect? Is there anything that we have to do to facilitate it, or was it just gonna show up in a pretty little bucket? Just continue to self-love. Continue to water and grow the things that you're genuinely want to do, even if you don't see a return. You know, I think Spirit, all that Spirit is doing is asking you to continue to be authentic in your authenticity. 21:11 on the clock. Keep your charitable heart, your charitable causes, you're wanting to give back and help others. And don't be corrupted by the past, I would say. I mean, not to sound so negative, but don't idealize the past. You know, you carved your path for a reason, okay? And don't fear that you're being too harsh, because the Queen knows what she's seeing and talking about. And just know that you're at the beginning of this, you know, and I think that this is a little of that collect energy here. You know, I feel as though that the rest of your life is meant to collect here. From everything that you've carved out, the precedent that you've set, and all that. You may not know it, but I feel like you've had such a profound impact on this life. And you've positively affected and influenced so many people. And you just might not know any better to give yourself enough credit. You know? But that's why Spirit's going to come in and bless you in this way. But I'm getting that it's going to be like this kind of lifestyle of blessings. You know? I'm not getting that it's just going to be this one and done and like giving you the ability. I mean, that's the least that you could ask for and receive, right? Is the ability to generate income and provide for yourself. But I'm getting that it's going to be more consistent. I usually don't read this Two of Pentacle lemniscate as that, but this is like, I'm getting that you're going to like put it on the generator. Like, this is for times and times to come. The gifts are going to keep on coming. Along with that gift that keeps on giving, you know, the ability to work for yourself and or a steady income, position, job, what have you. But you know, honestly, in asking, I just feel as though that Spirit's just like, no, like you're doing it. You're already doing exactly what you need to do to facilitate how to collect. I'm not seeing anything new. I'm not seeing new action. I'm not seeing, you know. But you are like systematically. See that Two of Pentacle came out again. Read them and weep here, folk. But, you know, just know that like the way you're facilitating and administering your resources and, you know, you're doing it. You've been doing it. And the kind of physical expression, the spiritual taken care of. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be called from the bench and your wish is going to be fulfilled here. That's how it's coming across. You've already seen all the options that you don't want. You've already gone through the stints and the bouts of no communication. And you're ready to sign. You weren't quick to just settle for something that you could have done way better than. I think that's why that Two of Cup is now coming out here. Ooh, double Two of Cup. Yes. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There you go. So to me, this says not only career, work-wise, position, new position, this is also romantic. Coming across someone that you find attractive and that you could jump into a relationship with. Very cool, very cool. Someone consistent, dependable, accountable. Okay, like a deep kind of life partner type energy here that you could really kind of be on equal terms with as far as respecting and. Nice. And that King of Pentacle energy, that's not only that stability and accountability, but that's again that moolah, that money. And I'm not getting that it's just them. I'm getting that they are good, but then that money is like they may be well off financially and doing good financially, resource wise, and you actually manifested that and pulled that into your circle. And as soon as you pull them in, you're actually going to mirror them. And that's going to help transform your financial situation energetically. That's why it's almost as if that's why it had to happen both. I've been making that prediction. I've been saying that it's been coming, but it's all going to come at once because you're not pulling in scrubs. You're pulling in people that have like something to show for it. And the reason why you are is because you have something to show for it in the form of experience, education, or just sheer raw potential. That's why we see these double kings here. So it's interesting how spirit works in that way because on the one end, you're pulling in that job or occupation, but then on the other end, you're pulling someone of that caliber and quality of that quantum energy, of that money and being well off. You've been projecting it through faith and spirituality, so you've been keeping in those ranks. So it's almost as if you've had like this membership, and you've been paying the membership, but you haven't been seeing you haven't been benefiting from the actual, membership. But it's almost as if, there's a lesson in that and how to, do without. But then also, it's just interesting how those energies coincide. It's almost as if like they have to flank you, because it's all about the surrounding energy and the surrounding environment, And again, I'm not saying that it needs to be that way, but it just seems to come with the territory. I mean, obviously, you still have the free will of being in a relationship or choosing what job or what have you. But it just seems to be something about, what's in the stars and the timing and the alignment here. It's almost like an equation, like it has to balance out. Like you get the good job and you meet the person that's doing good and stable. Like both are made manifest now in the flesh because the universe has to move in that kind of balanced way, But with your free will, you could say no to the person, and then the universe will balance it in another way. Or you could say no to the job, and then the universe will balance it in another way. That's why it's key to find out why that person is there. Are they there just for your resources, or are they there for you? How you facilitate the relationship will help you find that understanding. And guess what? I feel as though that you have the experience enough now to be able to do that. In any event, Spirit is handing you this opportunity here. Okay, it could be a form of work that you're familiar with. Or again, a form of stability that you're used to. Learning on the job. Doesn't have to be work that you're familiar with. You might not have the particular experience, but I'm getting that you could still make it work. Yeah, see that 9 of Cups came out in the reverse here. I'm not really getting like a physical manual labor job, but maybe more administrative. Because I see less work, less physical work. But yeah, I think it's going to empower you greatly here, from what I see. It's going to really empower what's been lacking as far as what you've been growing. Yeah, the double judgment card, those are huge energy. That shouldn't bury the lead. I usually don't read them as huge. I probably don't give them their due, but they're really big energies. Those major arcana trump cards are very big energies here. Incoming communication. Again, it might be again speaking to how it's kind of a resurrection of career and romance here, both coming in this week. Faded. It's like almost like a divine time soul contract, doubly. You know, you couldn't have really. I don't like to say that you couldn't have quantumly manifested it, because in a way you did, but then in a way you didn't. So it just depends on, because this is like my faded, like it's faded during this designated time. So. But so it kind of just depends on what you subscribe to, I would imagine. Did I manifest it, or was it faded, or was there different timelines? Could it have gone worse? Could it have gone better? You know, kind of might be both in some way, if you could wrap your head around it. But yeah, see that balancing of the scales that we're talking about? Because it feels as though like it was like an open option, you know, like it was always there with that Magician in the reverse. And it could have been something that you denied first, but now you're like, okay, let's play ball. Let's take a second look. See? And it might pay off here. 3 of Cups. Celebration. Twin flame. Bam! I'm getting that your fucking whole situation is gonna do a 180. I'm telling you, it's gonna do a 180. I'm telling you, after the 21st, 3 weeks in, Cancerian season. Cups represent weeks. You're pulling in your twin flame, and you're doing a 180 in your situation, your work situation, your romantic situation. Bam! Lightning strikes. This negative time is over. You did it the right way. Damn, this is crazy how this shit ended. Damn. damn, you couldn't have. I was thinking to myself happily ever after, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to be an asshole and say it. But that's what the fuck it is. Guys, I don't make this shit up. I tell you how it's coming through, how it's hinting through the verbiage, through the language that's mixed with my feelings and my intuition. And these ways of articulating in this phraseology, just it's there at the tip of my tongue and I just say it. But I shit you not. Like that moment where I just said it's going to be a 180, like that comes through and it resonates. It's true. I could feel it in my bones. And as I'm doing that, I'm still like enamored that it's like that I'm actually saying that because it's what we want. Telling you, man, lightning strikes. It's gonna bring in the blessings of the twin flame, the stability, and the happy relationship. Fucking shit, fucking duck, guys. Oh my god, that was fucking beautiful and amazing. I can't believe it just 180 like that. I said 180 and then look at how it ends. And it's the stability and it's the relationship, like I called it. God, that 3616 on the clock. Fuck. Alright guys, I love you. That was huge. That was paramount. Love you guys. Holla at your boy. Peace. 3626 on the clock. Holla. 3630 on the clock. Holla. 3633 on the clock. Love you guys. 3636 on the clock.